Welcome back to another episode of Generation Shock.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
That's right. We're back on your screens, if you know what I mean. It's your boy the monster on the mic and his so the Mezia.
What's up?
Mezia, how we doing out there tonight? How we doing?
It's cold, bro. I got this long sleeve.
Dude,
you know,
a bitch. Dude, I am like in the scrubbiest little thinnest shirt because I'm sweating out here and I live further north than you. It is not cold out.
The crazy thing is that like this is the time of the year when my wife just decides to open all the windows.
Well, I don't have screens or I'd have my windows open.
Yeah, like all the windows are open in the backside. And I'm like, it's fucking cold. I came in, put on some shorts, a t-shirt on, and then I sat down waiting for dinner to be ready. And then I'm like, damn, it's fucking cold. And she's like, really? It's cold? I'm like, yep, it's cold. I got up, put on long sleeve, put some sweatpants on, and she's like, you ridiculous. I'm like, it is cold.
Dude, this is the time of weather I love. I had to visit my dad and I sat outside on a string porch for a few minutes. Next thing I know, it was like an hour later. Just beautiful breeze coming through. Feels great. The dog gets to lay out in the yard. It was awesome.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, bro. I like this weather as far as sitting outside during the daytime.
You just
at
become
night
soft. You came from up north and now you soft.
I know. My boy just moved from up north down here. This is actually his first. He's already been here for like 2 months. And I told him, this is the time of the year you're going to love because,
when it's snowing on Halloween for everybody else, you're in t-shirts and shorts getting candy.
Yep. So how you been?
Hanging. Well, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Skip that question and move on to another.
Okay. Yeah. So how are we going to jump into sports or what we doing?
There's a couple things to talk about in sports.
All right, cool.
Gotta climb to the top, but we're never gonna stop. When the low, we going high.
Yeah. My boy
what's up?
Mez, what up? Yo, so
what's up?
Yeah, sports.
We sucking. Both teams are sucking, bro.
Well, I was gonna say Monday night was one of the was like a lunar eclipse. So Monday night's one of those rare nights that all four major sports played at the same time. You had the World Series of baseball, you had the NFL Monday night, you had basketball and hockey all on at the same time. Great time to be alive, right? Great time of the year. Love it. No matter what you do, you turn on the TV, you got something to gamble or something to root for,
Yep.
So it's kind of cool. In sports news, there's nothing to talk about our teams. Trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. Couple big trades was the backup quarterback who was starting all season because Kyler Murray was hurt. Got traded from Arizona to Minnesota because this past week Kirk Cousins tore his ACL or something like that, and is done for the season. So I guess Kyler Murray's ready to come back. So they traded quarterbacks. And then Chase Young, who was the number 2 overall pick like 3-4 years ago for the Washington Commanders, got traded to the 49ers. What up, Steve?
What up, Steve? Hey, I noticed the background. And
we traded Leonard Williams away and got a second and a fifth. That's right.
I noticed he changed the background. I like it.
Yeah, they've updated some of the features so we can have moving backgrounds now. So I was like, let's get a little moving in there.
Okay.
And we can also now somehow, I don't know if it's when we're like they're supposed. Oh, if I hit the B button on my keyboard, it marks a segment so I can come back and find it later on. So if I want to take little clips and put pretty cool.
Oh, it marks the clips in case you want to use them later on. Oh, that's interesting.
That's a couple things going on there in sports.
Didn't you want to talk about the ARod thing?
What ARod thing?
Him about the Hall of Fame.
What about
that clip? That thing you sent out.
Did I send something? What did I send?
You sent it out.
Oh no, it wasn't about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
it was about a jersey number being retired. I feel like that's a Nelly conversation.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yes, that's what it was.
Yes, that's a Nelly conversation. You don't know enough about sports. Nelly would have some info.
Bruh, I know enough
Nah,
talk about
we'll,
A-Rod?
we'll put that at the
I
side.
know
We'll
enough to
wait
say
for
that
Nelly.
A-Rod is better than Derek Jeter, and he deserves to be
See,
in the
this
Hall
is
of
why
Fame.
this is why, like I said, you don't know anything, and
Bro,
we'll just go ahead and mute you. So anyway, for those of you who have to like actually think you're going to listen to that banter and nonsense, we're just going to mute him because this guy is fucking out of his mind. That I can't. I'm just going to do the rest of the show myself, maybe, or at least the Monster Weekend Sports segment. I'll have to do alone.
All right, so let me ask you this. Do you really think that Derek Jeter is better than A-Rod as a shortstop?
Yes.
No. Fuck no.
Yes.
Hell no. If he was, let's put it this way. If he was, why would they pay him $300 million versus Derek Jeter?
Did Derek Jeter cheat?
No, let's leave the cheating out, because this is always going to be used.
That's part of the
that we know of.
equation.
That we know of. We don't know.
Did he cheat?
He never got caught.
He didn't cheat. If he didn't get caught, he never cheat. Listen, everybody else got caught. He would have got caught if he did it. He didn't do it.
He's Mr. Wonderful in New York.
Did you see what A-Rod looked like when he came in the league? Do you remember what he looked like?
Yeah, of course. He played for the Texas Rangers, I think.
Like when he got his dude. I'm sorry. That was his ability at shortstop wasn't about his ability. It was about the juice.
No, hell the fuck no. Derek Jeter. I mean, A-Rod when he was a Ranger.
I wish Nelly.
Listen, but let me make my point, right?
You have no point.
A-Rod as a Ranger. That's what he used to play for.
Texas Ranger.
He had more range than Derek Jeter. He was a better shortstop than Derek Jeter, bro.
You're able to go faster and further when you're juicing up.
No,
right.
So you saying he's juicing since he's been in the league?
Bro, how do you think
if he was juicing, why did it listen?
Yankees?
Do you think the Yankees organization that big, it's not gonna do a big background check before they invest $300 million?
Because we had multiple people who got caught juicing.
But I'm just saying, like $300 million.
Yeah, how do you make it? By shooting up needles. Listen,
he's a better shortstop. Listen, he's a better shortstop. Okay. He's a better shortstop than Derek Jeter.
Why did he not play shortstop?
Because Derek Jeter was the captain in seniority.
That's nothing to do with it. You're going to put your best player in the best
player. Derek Jeter is. Listen, you cannot do anything against Derek Jeter in New York. You can't.
What's A-Rod's nickname?
A-Rod.
Exactly. What's Derek Jeter's nickname?
Derek Jeter.
No, Captain Clutch.
Captain Clutch. Derek. Listen,
man, when they need him the most and won rings. Put a ring on that motherfucker. How many rings?
I give him respect.
How many rings A-Rod got? Because he's not as good.
No, but listen. All I know that if you was to see the position in the shortstop, there was 3 top players during that time. It was Derek Jeter, A-Rod, and Nomar Garciaparra. And guess who won the Golden Glove for that position? A-Rod all the time. Look it up.
He was the best player on that team. Yeah.
No. We're talking about when A-Rod was in when the Rangers. Yeah. Well, but he got the Golden Glove.
It's not always
over Derek Jeter as a shortstop.
Not always apples to apples. If he's not getting because if we have better pitching and the ball's not being hit to Jeter's way as much.
Oh my God.
Right? He may not be called out to win awards, right? But when it came to it in October, what did Jeter do? He made plays.
He run into the bleachers and made it look fancy. He ran into the seats and made it look good. That's it. That's all he did.
Hey, A-Rod couldn't do it. Anyway, move on.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
But I'm just saying. Now, as far as retiring his jersey, you don't think he deserves it?
No, fuck no. And well, like I said, steroids. How about McDaniels getting fired? Another one of your little Patriot ex-Belichick.
Did he get fired? I didn't know that.
He's got fired again. Why is nobody coming from the Belichick tree any good? Name me one good NFL coach that came from Belichick's tree. He has the worst record for
I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. I'm not going to argue that.
Absolutely horrible.
They only work good in the Belichick system.
Yeah.
But even Belichick is not working in the Belichick system. So what are you going to say about that?
I mean, guess what? Watch next year. McDaniels comes back, takes over the offensive coordinator, works with Mac Jones again, just like he did at Mac Jones's rookie year when Mac Jones was looking like a stud, and all of a sudden everything's
going to be O'Brien is not doing a good enough job?
You know why? You know why he's going to go? McDaniels is going to go back?
Why? Because Belichick's going to leave?
Nope. Belichick doesn't have to pay him.
No, Belichick has to go up.
No, Belichick just doesn't have to pay him. That's his secret. He's going to get him back. He's going to take him back as an OC, and he won't have to pay him. So
What do you mean he doesn't have to pay him?
He has a 6-year deal with the Raiders, so he's still getting paid by the Raiders.
Damn.
He could literally take him in as an intern. Doesn't matter. Fucking
And he would.
Belichick's done that. What do you think he did with Joe Judge and Patricia that year?
He would. Yeah, he would.
So he took those guys on for free, basically. It's crazy. NFL's crazy right now. You got the Eagles sitting at the top of the league.
You got all the whack teams doing good.
The Eagles are sitting at the top of the league at 7-1. Next up, you got the Chiefs, and they're what? 6-2. Speaking of the Chiefs, what do you think about this couple? We haven't talked about it yet, have we?
We did. We talked about it the last segment. We talked about the Kelsey and thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't think we had a chance to talk about it yet.
No, we didn't. I didn't think we dived into it, but we did.
Okay. That shit's just getting crazy.
Yeah, the NFL
they're saying
needed
because she wasn't there, they didn't win and shit. That shit's hilarious.
The NFL needed a boost, and who's better to do it? That's a great partnership between Taylor Swift and the NFL.
That's right. We did talk about it. I remember you're the same take. I forgot.
Yep.
Sometimes you get caught up.
Same clip. What's it called? Soundbite.
All right. That's really all I got in sports. There's really not much going on, so we'll move on to the next segment.
So here's a thing, right? Interesting topic we had at work today. What do you consider dating? So the reason why this topic came up, right? Because me and a couple of the guys that are in relationships, and I was talking about, I went out with the wife on Sunday. We went out to eat. We went out to get some, did some stuff, shopping, and then we went out to eat, and we, it was considered a date. And then the other guy goes, yeah, I go on a date. Every time we go out, it's a date. So then one of the single guys goes, wait a minute. So every time you go out with your girls, it's a date? Yeah. And the argument became about, no, that's not a date. It's hang out, and then there's dates. What do you think?
Well, I think what happens is it is the perception of the single man is always going to be different than the perception
than the married person man, or right? In a relationship.
So when you're in a relationship for a certain amount of time, and this is just my opinion, I think what I see psychologically, when you're in the relationship for a certain amount of time, or you've been married for a certain amount of time, you need to rack up points, right? So
what does that mean?
Meaning that, you want to be able to say to her when she says, how come we never go out anymore? You can be like, well, babe, we went on a date yesterday. No, we just went to dinner after after shopping. That's not a date. She might come back and say that. And you're like, no, babe, that's a date. Because in reality, like when you're actually dating someone, just kicking it and then grabbing some food doesn't necessarily constitute a date. A date when you're dating somebody is usually more formal, right? It has to be
dress up?
No, it just has to be formally announced in a way, right? Like, hey, can I take you out tonight? Hey, you want to go get dinner? Hey, do you want to go to a movie, right? It's like it's a lot more formal.
So an invitation.
Correct. Versus I think, if it's when you're like, hey, you want to hang out today? That's not necessarily a date when you're dating someone. Like, hey, let's hang out today, right? And then you're at some point you got to eat, so you're going to get a meal, but that's not a date. A date's like officially, hey, I'm going to pick you up at 7. We're going to go get dinner.
Event.
Right?
Date and time.
And then what you do is you take that though, and as a married man, and you convert that into dating, right? So it's like, that's why if you ever see TV shows or movies, they talk about married couples having a date night. See, but what you're doing is you're eliminating that need by saying that going to KFC after we hit up the mall is dating, is a date. So it's a little different.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
So a date, I agree with that. One of my arguments was, hey, my wife and I, we don't go out much. We just stay home and watch movies. We're older couple. When we do go out, we go out on our birthdays, we go out on special occasions, and we consider that dating, right? A date, right? Yeah. We're going out on a special date.
And that makes sense. But, that's what I was talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the argument of the other person that's in a relationship, he goes, what are you talking about? Every time I go out with my girl, it's a date. And the single guy was like, no, it's not a date. That's hanging out. A date is a special occasion. Like what you were saying about, he goes, but the way he put it is, you would dress up and you make it like you said, a formal thing. You would go out and say, hey, we're going out on a date. You don't just make it a date. How about the Cheesecake Factory?
That's the number one. I don't know why I saw this online literally yesterday. They did a
because he was bored.
That's all I ever do is fucking get bored. So some guy did ask everybody to type in, to all these women to type in and say, where's the places you don't want to go on your first date or you don't, or whatever like that.
You don't want to go?
You don't want to be taken. Like, and the number one was Cheesecake Factory. Number one.
That place is overrated.
It's crazy because I 10 years ago,
life.
I feel like 10 years ago, that was like the number one date destination.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 10 years later, it's like, fuck that. I don't want Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
So
let me, okay.
Well, look who it is. What up, Sheridan?
What's
Long
up?
Time. Hope everything's good.
Oh, let's ask her, right?
Okay. Have her chime in. Go ahead.
What would you consider a date? If hanging out with if you're in a relationship, hanging out with a guy, with your partner, going out on occasions would be considered a date every time, or like Checkman said.
Why are you so bad re-explaining yourself? You were so bad.
Know, just
the first time you made so much sense in what you said to me. This time, dude, you like I'm lost on what you're trying to tell.
I'm trying to get it. Go.
Okay, so basically, what he's saying is there was a conversation between two people, and one was in a long-term relationship, married or dating, and the other was single. And the guy said that was in a long-term relationship made the comment that every time him and his girl go out and get some food or anything, right? So let's say they're just running to do some errands and they grab some dinner. That's considered a date. Where the single guy was saying, no, that's considered hanging out. A date is like something more formal, has to be like pre-planned and put purpose behind in order to make it a date. So we were having a discussion, which she's probably been here the whole fucking time. So I don't know why you're making me redo it. I just thought about that. I just following your stupid lead. All right. Anyway, let's move on.
But here's the other question on the dating. This is the other thing that I said. I'm like, okay, who pays?
Well, that's easy.
Let's say your first date. Who pays on the first date?
That's easy. The man.
How?
The man.
Why the man?
Because it's just tradition, man. You got to.
Okay, forget about.
I'll take it like this. I don't know. I mean, I know it's progressive and stuff, but here's the way I look at it. And listen, I don't know. I haven't experienced in this, so believe me, I wish I knew. There you go. So there you go. It has to be special. Okay. You're setting a date. She's right.
Yeah.
Even the definition of it kind of says that. What were we talking about?
About paying. Who pays on the first date? And you said a man.
So yeah, and this is the reasoning. I feel like 90% of the time, unless the girl's just super, super into you, right? Which I don't think, for a normal guy like me, those types of, it's just, that doesn't necessarily happen like that in one date, she's like super into you like that. So what happens is you don't pay, you're probably not going to get a second date. Right.
Is that still a thing now?
I think so.
These days?
Yeah. Because I think I don't know. I see all the stuff I see online, women have higher expectations and they want more. So they think they deserve to be treated that way and all this stuff shit and things now still. Like it's crazy. So I agree. A date is anything following one of them saying we're going out. Food after shopping is mandatory, lol, not a date. I agree. See? Everybody's on my side.
That is true. No, that is true.
So, but yeah, I think, I think there's going to be those women out there, like maybe they want to go Dutch or something, split
what
their,
do you mean Dutch?
Dutch
Explain.
means you pay for yourself.
Oh, I didn't know that shit.
It's called going Dutch. You split the bill.
Okay.
And stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I think that's just that's just becoming more of an excuse for a woman to not feel guilty to have to go on a second date. Right?
Like the girl paying?
The girl, so
the other person paying.
No, women came up with this. So that way, if they could feel like they're not obligated now to go on a second date, because if they pay for the whole thing, or if they pay for their portion, now there's no obligation necessarily to go on a second date. I think sometimes in society, women felt, okay, I went out with this guy, he spent this money, I owe it to him to try one more time, right? And if
the other person pays,
correct.
Okay. So, and if we split the bill, you're saying that they don't feel
obligated to necessarily need to go on a second date. So I think if you look at the ratio of men paying, splitting the bill, and women paying, you'll see that there's extreme drop off on how many times there's a second date.
Yeah. I think we needed to get somebody else in this topic just in case, because we've been out of the dating game for so many years. We're probably wrong. I do agree with that. Whoever asked to go on the date pays. That's
a good theory. I mean, I like that theory. You know,
yeah. So like every time, if let's say for example, if I say, "Hey, Sheikman, let's go out, let's go eat." I grew up where if there's a Spanish saying, "El que invita paga," which means whoever invites pays for it.
I've never I would never go out to eat expecting you to pay for me though.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, there's a saying, like, again in Spanish, I'll repeat it again, is "El que invita paga," which means whoever invites pays. So I believe in that. No.
Well, no, I'll go because you're paying for me then, Chris. Let's go. Oh man. I think it's a good theory though. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's why sometimes when you ask somebody, hey, especially,
I guess I always do the asking. I'm normally the one doing the asking, so I'm the one doing the paying. But I'm always going to pay for the first date. That's just
here's a secret about Shecky. If you get him tipsy, he pays for everything.
Listen. Okay,
Shecky tipsy gets paid for everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple nights that my bank account did not like me the next day. But those are usually the nights. Those are nights I'm not a little tipsy. It's not tipsy, Sheck. It's drunk. Like it's You get me drunk and show me a good time with that, you know. And I pay. Shit.
Yep.
That night with the pizzas, man, broke my wallet.
I heard about that
next day.
I heard about that.
But that's what happens when you get lost in downtown and randomly find a group of people.
Pizza on me, baby.
Yep. They say, dude, in my mind at that moment, they saved my life. So
I was watching I'm all caught up on The Shield Invasion. I finished that whole thing. That was a good series.
Yeah, it was lacking.
It was totally different, like from any Marvel thing I've ever watched.
Yeah, it let me down. Marvel's letting me down. Loki's good right now. I like the Loki series, but Loki's overall, good. Marvel's let me down.
The first 2 episodes of Loki, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Do you have any? You have a what TV? What kind of TV you got? I forgot. LG, right?
I got an LG. I just bought a new one. LG, nice. My other one got junked out.
Does it have any of the features built into it? Like, dude, I don't know why I don't do it enough, but I did it today. Blew my mind, and I know it shouldn't, but it was like it actually worked. That I was able to talk to my TV because it's a Sony, so it has Google or whatever, right? And then I have the little Google screen in my kitchen, and I got a little free. I got one for free, one of the old looking dot things that's up in there. And I was just like, I can't say it too loud because I don't want it to actually do it.
You can say, hey, whatever.
Yeah, well, so I like, hey, Google, turn on my TV, right? And then I went through and I was like, hey, put on the put on the newest episode of the Pat McAfee show from YouTube. And boom, it puts it on. Yeah. Dude, and then I'm able to go. I was literally like, hey, fast forward at 3.5 minutes because of the stupid intro that I was trying to get past. Boom, fast forward it past that. And then I was like, hey, put this on instead. Dude, I'm like, this shit actually works now. I remember when we used to always talk about it working, but it never seemed like it actually would.
Yeah.
Dude, this shit actually works now. It knows to put stuff on from Hulu. It knows to put stuff on from whatchamacallit, from YouTube. Like I could actually
Disney Plus.
Yep, Disney Plus. Like, and then well, that's the weird thing though. The Disney Plus, it doesn't work. Like it goes to the thing, but for some reason, the picture when it streams is very very choppy and it has problems. So I have to like log out and then log back in. But still, this AI stuff that's happening, dude, this is just like, I think this is a part of that AI advancement. This shit's actually starting to work.
Yeah, starting to learn.
Pretty cool. Pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you used any of it before.
Yeah, I use it to say, I'm watching Tudors right now.
What is it? Tudors?
What is it? Yeah, I'm rewatching Tudors because I finished watching some of those.
Yeah, see, he was saying the same thing about the Loki.
Well, I am watching Loki.
Every week?
I'm all caught up on Loki.
That's good.
That's what I'm saying. The first 2 episodes for me was like, at first I was like, what the fuck is going on? And
Dude, this last episode, I know we can't really talk. It shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking cliffhanger, huh?
If I'm up to date, yes.
Yeah. Can't wait to see the next one.
It's crazy. Yeah. So like I'm watching Tutors, right? And I'm like, I go to my Fire Stick and we're like, put on Tutors on Showtime. Boom, immediately. It's crazy, bro. Like, here's the thing. My wife always has issues with I call it, she has issues with technology, right? So for example, at one point she was saying, hey, Google, turn off the light or turn on the light in the living room, right? So it does, but then it turns on all the other lights, right? Randomly. So, or she'll say, when she's going to go to sleep, she'll say, hey, Google, turn off the light in the living room. And then all the lights turn off, but then they all turn back off. Turn off, and then they all turn back on. And she was like, she even sent me a video and she's like, you see what's going on? I'm like, you just have issues with technology. So recently it started happening to me too. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hey, Google, turn off the light in the living room, shuts it off. And then everything else, every other light turns on. I'm like, that's not what I asked you to do. So I had to fucking log in and log out. Yeah, it's just crazy, bro. When it can go wrong, it can go wrong.
Hey, it can, but it's not. So I like it right now.
Yeah.
It's working for me. So
it's a cool feature.
It is. Like, I mean, not that I can't pick up the remote and use it, but it's like, like today I was putting away groceries. So I got a little, some groceries to be able to food prep. Like, so I did some of that kind of stuff. So it's nice that it's just like, I was able to talk to it, get it to do things without having to do anything.
So we're getting closer to finally see a Cybertruck.
Are we really? When's it supposed to come out?
It's supposed to come out by this quarter. Coming up, right?
Yeah. It's probably gonna be ugly as fuck.
Oh, here's a cool thing. Bro, check this out.
Gabriel and Lisa's. Where did you meet him?
I went to see him.
Oh, that's dope. We're at Orlando?
Yeah, he came to UCF.
Oh.
And my wife surprised me with tickets. It's my first time. My wife knows I love comedy. I've been watching comedy since I was a kid. And my wife surprised me. She's like, we're going to go see Fluffy. I'm like, what? So finally get to see Fluffy. It's my first show ever. We drove to UCF. It was like, first of all, it was an hour drive. I was like, shit, it's an hour drive. Before we got to the show, we actually went to a place that serves some, like, so Ale House. What is it that you get at Ale House that everybody loves?
The Melt.
All right. So this place does the same concept, right? But with different flavors, different toppings, different seasonings. Bro, it is so good. And I was like, we have to get something to eat. So we went there to eat first. Then we went to go, finally got to go see Fluffy. And then there was a merchandise area, right? So I'm waiting in line to buy the merchandise. I'm like, babe, let's find a seat first. And then I'll go run and get merchandise. She go, and I asked her first, hey, do you want a shirt? She's like, no, don't get me anything. Right. So I'm in line. I'm like, okay, what do I get? Like, what should I get? At City Walk? Nah. Brian said you like keeping up with the chat.
Who, me? I'm listening to you.
Whoever's not keeping up with it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think you froze too. So
no, I'm here.
I'm in line buying merchandise. I get the pop figure signed, right? I get that signed. He didn't sign it. It was already signed. I get the hat. I was gonna wear the hat because I like the hat. I get the hat and I get a keychain. And I'm looking at the shirts, and I don't like the options on the shirts. But then when we sit down, I come with all the merchandise. I sit down, and then the starting person goes on, which is Maltin. He starts off the show. Then somebody else, and then Fluffy. So before Fluffy gets on, he's talking about all the merchandising and how to get it and all that. And then my wife goes, oh, I like that shirt. Did you get me a shirt? And then she says, wait a minute, I just realized you buy everything for yourself. Did you get me anything? I was like, I felt so bad, bro. I was like, no, but you told me you didn't want anything. Yeah, but that shirt is good. You should have bought a shirt. I'm like, I felt so bad, bro.
You gotta always. I'm surprised you don't.
I have selfish tendencies, bro.
You gotta always.
She's always thinking, right? She's always thinking about me and what when she gets something, she'll be like, "Let me get something for my husband." I have a bad habit of thinking about me. I'm like, okay, oh shit, I get to buy all this. Let me buy all this. I didn't think about getting her a shirt, and I felt so bad.
What a horrible man.
Yeah,
What a
it
horrible
is.
man. So,
I am. I could be.
yeah,
But for my first comedy show,
fan. That makes sense.
to be my first comedy show, it runs like a concert, like a music concert. It's so interesting. It has opening acts, right? And then it has a main act.
I guess.
It has opening acts. And then it has a main act, which is Gabriel Iglesias. He is hilarious. He is the same on Netflix as the way he is on live.
That's good shit. I gotta get to I haven't been to a comedy show in years. I need to get out and do one.
Joy Coy is coming in and right now, I think tomorrow.
What's the difference between men and women?
What is it? About she thinks about me. And
thinks about okay, that makes sense.
That is true.
Yeah,
that
it's not wrong. It's usually
that is true. It doesn't make you feel good, but it is true. So Dave Chappelle's in town, and Joy Coy supposed to be in town sometime this week too.
Oh, really?
And then Bad Bunny tickets went on sale, bro. Guess how much Bugs Bunny tickets are going for?
Bugs Bunny?
No, Bad Bunny.
You said Bugs Bunny the second time.
I did say Bugs Bunny.
Probably $625.
Bro, that's probably nosebleed, right? All the way in the back. 1,100, 1,200, those seats, and they're selling out.
Fuck that, I'm good.
That's fucking crazy. I remember back then growing up, I'm going to age myself, but when I thought $800 for Michael Jackson tickets were a lot.
That is a lot.
And that is Michael Jackson. But we're talking about in the 80s, 90s.
Well, that's the thing. If you multiply that out by inflation, it's probably like damn near a $2,000 ticket.
Yeah, but it's crazy. See, I can see myself paying money to see Bruno Mars, paying money to see a pop singer. Like, let me be more specific. Like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Taylor Swift. I don't know, probably. But anybody that puts on a performance versus Bad Bunny is yes, he's a great artist. Yes, he probably, but I consider him a rap artist, and I would never go see a rap artist in a concert.
I don't know. They're not bad in concert. I saw one once, which was fun. It was.
Who'd you see?
Oh man, it was a whole slew of artists. It was Lil Wayne. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was a Lil Wayne concert.
How was that?
It was good, but there was a bunch of other people there. I'm just trying to remember who. It was fun. I mean, I was up high and everything like that, but it was a good time. I liked it. The thing about the Bad Bunny, the only reason why I was thinking about it, the only reason why I may even like debate paying that kind of money is because women there are probably
I knew you were gonna say that.
ridiculous. So it's just like shit. Man.
They all think they all gonna go with the expectation of him seeing
Bad Bunny instead
them.
They get Little Shecky,
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I would never pay that, man. To me, there's just like, I don't pay that for a football game, right? Why would I pay that for a concert?
Yeah, that would be like a Super Bowl ticket. $1,500.
Like I can literally re-listen to the music every single, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. The experience is probably great to be able to say you did that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not paying that kind of money. That's fine.
But he sell out like crazy, bro. He's hot. He's hot
now.
Right now.
He's the biggest thing. He's the biggest thing right now.
He is hot.
So he makes good music. I mean, what are you gonna?
Yeah, he does. I've been listening. His new album is good. I like it. I like his new album.
And he's doing stuff now with TV a little bit too, isn't he?
He's been getting more into because he's like he's peaking.
He's trying to be a mega star.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take advantage of it. Draw while the iron's hot, man. Go for it.
He's dating one of the Kardashians. Well, not a Kardashian. She's a Jenner.
Oh, Kylie.
Kylie.
Not Kylie. The other one.
The skinny one. The real skinny one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if they're dating or not. They might be. Who knows?
No, they're dating. It was out. They already put it out there. I'm like, oh, okay, there you go. I don't know. Hey.
Yeah. Listen.
So
at least he's going for the younger version. He's not Pete Davidson
what?
Going for Kim K again.
Yeah.
Another one.
We lost the guys from Friends.
Oh, that's right. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Oh man, what is Chandler's name?
Matthew. No.
Kendall. That's the chick. That's the Jenner.
Yeah.
Jenner. Not Matthew Perry. It was my mind just went blank. Where's our research guy when you need him?
I know, right?
Oh yeah, it is
Oh.
Matthew Perry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And he was
Great
such a like I loved him in the show. Like
was great.
actually the wife and I really watched the whole season of that before all this happened. We watched the whole season and he was a great actor in it. It was fun.
That was a great show. I mean, that's definitely top 5 probably all time.
I think the last 2 seasons they were making $1 million per show.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So think about it, $6 million to just those actors, not to mention everybody else.
That is crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Could you imagine like that? Like you do what was it 8 to 10 seasons? That's a relate. You become best friends with people like that.
Yeah,
I mean, you would think they get along, right? Because 10 seasons means you guys get along.
Yes and no, man. There's been stories that people do shows for 10 years. I mean, you got to remember it's work, right? Like they go to it like that. So think about it. How long have you been at your location where you work?
12
years. Okay. You're telling me there's never been times that there's people you don't like that you're working with?
That are working with me now?
Not now. I'm just saying in general, like,
oh yeah,
12 years.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. But you still saw them every day, right? Like, but as soon as it ended, not all of them are like still staying close and best friends or anything like that, that I know of, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, it was sad. He died. I think he drowned in his bathtub or jacuzzi.
Yeah, I think something else is going on. I don't know, but I don't want to talk too much into it.
Yeah, we don't have enough research on it.
Well, that and just, you got to respect it.
It's a sad moment. Yeah, of course.
Star Trek.
Who?
She said Star Trek, guys. What about Star Trek?
What about it?
I did watch a bunch of them on Paramount. Somebody give me.
I'm not a Star Trek person. I'm a Star Wars.
Dude, I got sucked into like 3 different series of Star Trek on Paramount because somebody gave me the login. I got into the
movie or the show?
No, the show. So the Picard one though was from the show and it's the movie, and then now he has his own show, and then that turned into one that took place before with like a real young Captain Spock or Spock. I mean, before Captain Kirk. So it was Captain Pike. So I watched this whole series with a guy, Captain
Wait,
Pike.
there's a whole show behind certain characters?
Yeah. So if did you ever watch the Star Trek movies?
I watched not the new movies. I watched the shows before, but I was never into them.
So you never saw the one with Chris Pine?
Nope.
Oh.
Not the new versions.
Okay. Well, in that movie, there's an opening scene. No, maybe yes. Or the character that's in there with him, who's trying to guide him down the right path, is called Captain Christopher Pike. And so they did a whole spinoff though instead on the Paramount and did a show with it. So
Paramount seems like they're gonna be doing good. Disney price went up, bro. Disney Plus price went up.
Everything's going up, man.
It's crazy.
All the streaming services starting to debate like about how maybe starting to cut some of them or figure something else out. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Apple all got me watching specific shows.
I know.
And the reason why I pay for cable still is because of HBO Max and Showtime. And they got me watching specific shows too. It's fucking crazy.
Who do you use for your TV?
Huh?
Who do you use for your television?
Spectrum.
Oh, I didn't know if you did a internet one or a cable one.
No, I did the internet one. I do it I do the digital package.
I get it, but you're still with a
cable box. Yeah. I still have a cable box because LG doesn't support Spectrum app yet.
No, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I would thought maybe you go to YouTube TV, Fubo, something like that. That's what I'm saying.
No, because with YouTube TV, with stuff like that, how reliable, knock on wood, my internet hasn't crashed, right? Since I got a new company. But usually in the past, Spectrum internet will crash and then you can't watch shit. You have to, so that's why I always kept cable. Cable was always on versus the internet.
But you could only watch it on the one TV then because you only have one TV with a box, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
which we try to keep it. Well, I watch TV at night in my bedroom. My wife hates it because it's so bright. But hey,
Yeah. All right, I think that's about all we got tonight. You got
yeah, that's it. No. You know what? It's been a while. No FOH, bro. I think we haven't been frustrated. Oh, we have. We just can't share it.
Yeah, I got enough I can't put out there to the fucking world.
Yeah,
I got a lot going on in my life. That's the problem.
yeah.
So trying to figure out all of it, it's never fun. I'll tell you that much.
Nope. All right.
But what are you gonna do? Get up and do it all over again tomorrow. That was fun. I wasn't quite prepared. I knew we were gonna do it, but I forgot. I think we didn't really. We got to get some streamline this a little bit more. Make sure we're on again. So
Yeah.
but
We try to do it every 2 weeks if we could, if possible.
I don't
Right?
see why we can't. We just got to prepare a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Today was just to refresh the.
Thank
what's
you,
going on.
Steve-O. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Sheridan, for tuning in, watching us tonight. It was a little bit slower. We should look for some moving backgrounds and be able to have some crazy shit in the back now.
We should start like once in a while bringing guests.
I said that we should get back into that. It's always fun.
Just a random guest.
We'll figure it out. We'll leave that for our private talk, our bed talk.
All right. Later.
So, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up? You don't have a fuck
Nope.
out of you?
No, I don't have FOH.
No? I'm trying to think if I got something good enough to post real quick. Yeah, I feel like the second I get off here, I feel like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's what I wanted to say.
Nope.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children's of all episodes. Sorry, I was reading. Oh, they're talking about this American Horror Story. I've never seen any of that. Oh, that's
Me
all
neither.
way earlier.
Never got into it.
So,
I know there was a season where Lady Gaga was in it.
yeah, now some other people have been in it. But all right, maybe we'll talk about that next time. Go watch an episode. Good night.
What
We got the right stuff. We